strapped in tight, ready, V8, symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, thighs are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we are at the beautiful Knoxville Raceway here this evening with the Premium Stunt Car Racing League. As it is ARCA Racing here this evening for each and every one of these drivers. They will be looking to try to put themselves up and into the winner's circle here on the dirt track. As the action about to get underway here is qualifying quickly coming to a close, and all these drivers will be looking to try to put themselves up and into the Knoxville Raceway victory lane. As this is racing under the way we like it, man. This is going to be a lot of fun to see these drivers out there slinging some mud here this evening. As you take a look on, you see Cody Cash out there onto the racetrack here, getting his qualifying efforts in, trying to make sure he's got this car hooked up and pointed the right direction. As you see him sliding it through these corners, baby. It's a beautiful sight, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see if these drivers can keep themselves pointed the right direction, keep the handle of these race cars, find the groove, find that speed, and try to put themselves up and into victory lane. As each and every one of these drivers getting done their qualifying effort here, we will get a quick word in here from our opening command. Our opening command here this evening, it is Lonnie Crider. Let's see if we can get Crider up here onto the screen real quick here. This qualifying has come to a close. As Alec Robbins says, let's go Robbins, cheering on Robbins here this evening. And it says, let's have a good night tonight. Yes, let's have a very good night tonight. Lots of great racing here this evening. And also says, let's go number 2. Landon, cheering on Landon as well. As we'll get a quick word in here from our main man, our opening command here this evening. It's Mr. Lonnie Crider coming on board here to give us our opening command here today. Let's see if we can get Lonnie up here. There he is. There's Mr. Lonnie. All right, let's see what he's got to say for our opening command.
Hey, we're here in Knoxville. You can hear the engines roar, guys. We're going to have a good time tonight. Hey, start those engines. Let's go racing, guys, and let's have a good time.
Alrighty, there you go. You heard it from Lonnie right there. It sounds like he's at the track. Man, that was a That was a great sound to hear right there. All those cars not only in the virtual sim racing here being started up and fired up and ready to go to battle, but they're in the real life action there as well for Mr. Crider. Here we go. Going to get ready to set these drivers loose. They're going to get ready to roll out onto the racetrack here as we're going to get 2 heat races here. So a couple heat races for drivers to try to work themselves into the show. I do believe everybody's going to make it into the race. There will be no last chance qualifier, so everyone will get an opportunity to race here this evening. But starting on the pole in the number 2 ride, it is Landon Burbage. Burbage will start in that pole position to his outside. It'll be Dylan Carrier in that DJC Simtography 88 ride. Starting in position number 3, it was last year's dirt winner, the 16 ride. It's Matthew Wood who starts there in 3rd to his outside in the 79. It is the Simu Cube, number 79 ride of Danny White. Starting in position number 5 in the 5 ride, the SpongeBob Rubbered Up Productions ride. That is Josh Crider starting there in 5th to his outside. It is the Shark Ninja number 19 of Melvin Brengrer. Starting back in the 7th position is the 57 of Grant Applegate. Then we see Farrell Robbins to his outside. Cody Cash and Nathan Brookover bringing up the rear of the field as Benjamin Romano not starting this race from rolling position. He's still down pit side. As here we go, getting ready to see our first green flag of the day as heat race number 1 is underway here at Knoxville Raceway. And look at the tires spinning already. Drivers on the loud pedal try to find that speed, already flipping up through the gears, down through 1 and out of 2. It is Burbage who will lead us down the back straightaway for the first time here this evening, but slide job over the 88 goes Matthew Wood. Wood pulls the trigger, slides up across the nose of the 88, but here comes Carrier right back down to his inside. Carrier looking to carry that bottom lane, looking for that speed and looking for that grip down low. Looks like he'll find some as he'll slide up and around Matthew Wood to put himself back into position number 2. As here comes that 5 of Josh Crider as well. Crider right there into the mix, already trying to make his move around that 16 of Matthew Wood. Looks like Crider will take that spot, so unfortunately for Wood, he will fall back into the 4th position as Crider gets around him, but Crider opens up the door on the high side. Can Wood battle back into 3rd as here comes Applegate. Applegate there in 5th as man, oh man, oh man. Dylan Carrier, he's just getting warmed up here. Just laid down the quickest lap of this race. It was actually tied with that number 2 rider, Landon Burbage, so both drivers putting down some very fast lap times, but again, another quick lap out of the 88 ride, so he's got the quickest lap in this race right now. So the 88 down low, they're going to bang fenders. Look out, the 88 loses the front nose, pushes down onto the berm, able to catch it, able to keep his foot in the throttle, and he'll keep on battling as he'll catch that ride, get it pointed back in the right direction, put his foot back into the throttle. Now has that 5 rider Crider, though, right on his back end, looking to try to move his way up into position number 2. So the 88 sliding down through corner 3 and 4 once again, hoping that he can try to find a little extra speed, hoping that there's no major damage that's going to affect the handling of that ride as he looks to hunt down our race leader Landon Burbage once again. As Burbage out in front, it's Carrier there in 2nd. Crider back in 3rd as Matthew Wood in position number 4 and looking for more. There's that 57 of Grant Applegate. Melvin Brengrer back in 6th. Danny White there in 7th with Farrell Robbins, Nathan Brookover, Cody Cash bringing up the rear of the field here as Benjamin Romano still not out on the racetrack, but it's all Landon Burbage. Burbage now with about a 8/10 of a second lead between himself and Dylan Carrier, and with the laps continuing to count down here this evening in our first run of the day, our first heat race here this evening. I do believe these are 30-lap heat races, so 23 laps left to go in this one. So that's a lot of time. It's a lot of time to run into problems, have mistakes, potentially run into a little bit of tire wear or just handling issues here. If your car is not hooked up for the long run, potentially you may need to see some caution flags, get that short run speed and try to work yourself towards the front of the field here, because as of right now, it's looking like this 2 ride is absolutely hooked up here today. He is juiced up there at the front of the field, continuing to open up a bit of a lead, trying to run run away from Dylan Carrier. Josh Crider, the 16 of Matthew Wood, the 57 of Applegate are top 5. Brent Brewer there in 6 as Danny White has slid back into 7. Farrell Robbins right there with him. Robbins actually gets a piece of the fence right there, able to get that thing back pointing in the right direction, able to keep it out of the fence, and not too much damage there for the 76 as Farrell rolls back in the 8th position. Cody Cash in the Lowe's Pro 48 ride rolls there in position number 9. That's Nathan Brookover right there. Behind him is Brookover in the, I don't even know what this is, the CVS ride. The CVS 27 rolling back here in the 10th position right now. And unfortunately for these two, for Nathan Brookover, for Cody Cash, they are very, very close to potentially becoming lap traffic out there on the racetrack. As there's our race leader, the 2 ride, Landon Burbage, reeling them in a quick hurry, and you do see that 88 ride of Dylan Carrier starting to close the gap ever so slightly on that 2 machine, and now with some lap traffic playing a role in this as well, may open up the door for even more moves. You see Cody Cash just get up right out of the way there, keeping himself out of trouble. He's the 27, gets by him. He's just going to keep it stuck up against the fence. He does not want to ruin one of our lead lap drivers' days with being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So he just moves up out of the way, allows them to get by, and that did close the gap a little bit more there for Dylan Carrier. As you see Carrier pushing it here. He is really looking strong, and he is really looking to find that extra little bit of speed out there on the racetrack as he reels in this 2 ride once again. He may only have one more shot at it, though, as the laps continue to click down, and it seemed like it took him quite a few laps to try to build up this speed momentum to start to reel in this 2 ride again. So if that's the case, if it takes him a little bit, if it takes him a few laps to try to gain everything he loses back out there on the racetrack, then it may be one more opportunity, one more good try to get around this 2 ride. You make another mistake like he did, it may be game over. He may be handed it to him, but here we go. Big run down to the inside as he works to the bottom of that 2 ride. They were door to door at a corner number 4. Looks like he'll get the door open, and he'll go for the slide job down through corner number 1 into the crossover out of Landon Burbage. Burbage goes for the big cross right there as they're leaning on each other once again down into corner number 3, and out of 4 it looks like the 88 of Dylan Carrier will take the race lead away. So Carrier out in front. Carrier now taking the race lead away from Landon Burbage. Burbage slides back to 2nd. We'll see if he can try to find an extra little bit of gear, if he can find his way back to the front here, but right now they're all chasing down the one driver out there on the racetrack that has real life dirt experience. He has drove a mini stock or something in the real life dirt world. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look out. It is the next Kyle Larson out there on the racetrack, is the 88 of Dylan Carrier with that real life experience out in front of the field here, taking this race by storm after navigating his way around Landon Burbage. As Crider back there in position number 3, Brenger there in 4th. Grant Applegate, Matthew Wood are top 6 as Matthew trying to hang on to that 5th position, but Applegate looking to try to take it away from him. You see Brenger able to get around both of those two, so Brenger on the move towards the front here after getting around not only Matthew Wood but also getting around Applegate. Danny White there in 7th out there on the racetrack, and then you do see the lap traffic now of Nathan Brookover and Cody Cash, as we did see Farrell Robbins. Farrell has taken his car down pit side and off of the racetrack here for the rest of this heat race. Now, lucky break there for Farrell Robbins, as there is no cut line. Everybody will make it into the show, so nobody's going to go home early here this evening. They'll all get an opportunity to race in our A main feature event, but we got our heat races to set the field first, as Dylan Carrier out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done, as Burbage there in 2nd, then we see Crider back in 3rd. Brenger, Applegate are top 5, as Dylan Carrier trying to open up a bit of a lead here between himself and Landon Burbage, but Burbage not really closing much of a gap here on that 88 ride. And if you're Dylan Carrier, you're just trying to take care of your equipment, trying to keep yourself out of trouble and just manage that gap. You don't really necessarily need to open up a 2-second, 3-second lead as much as, yeah, that would be nice to have. You don't have to force the subject, use up yourself, or put yourself into a bad position trying to push yourself or push that car too far out there on the racetrack. Just hit your marks, don't make any huge mistakes out there, and just keep that gap up. Continue to kind to hold ground there between yourself and that 2 ride of Landon Burbage. But you do hear a couple cars in front of him. That is Cody Cash. Cash, he does have our race leaders once again towards his back bumper, and that could cause some more issues here for our race leader, as Carrier's going to have to try to get around him here in a quick hurry. Doesn't want to have a issue and get held up by that 48, where that could bring the 2 ride right back to his rear bumper. And there you go, up and into 3. Looks like the 48 will jump to the outside lane, allow our race leaders to go on by. He does not want to ruin their odds here this evening, as you do see Crider right there able to just get by that 48 ride, as it could have been a whole lot worse there for Crider. Really had to get checked up, had to kick that car out wide to lose some speed there before driving up the track and into that 48 of Cody Cash. As the 88, though, a Dylan Carrier continues to lead the way, this time down and across the line. We will see 5 laps left to go here in heat race number 1. So heat race number 1 quickly coming to a close, as there goes the 27 of Brookover, going to go another lap down out there on the racetrack. Next driver to potentially go a lap down is this number 79 ride of Danny White. Danny's going to try to keep himself on the lead lap, but with our race leaders right there on his back bumper, it's going to be tough to do here. You don't want to hold them up, but it may hold up this 88, and if he continues to battle hard, hoping to see potentially a caution flag here in this first stage, it could bring him back up towards the front and could gain a couple positions, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so, as here comes Carrier down low. You see the 79 gets up into the outside fence. Look out, that's a big hit right there for that 79 ride, and unfortunately that may hold up Landon Burbage ever so slightly. Landon does check up for that 79 ride, and now coming out of the corner, they're tight together. Oh baby, there was almost contact there, and that's gonna reel in Josh Crider. Crider keeping his foot in the throttle. He is right there looking now to the outside of the 2 ride of Landon Burbage for second, as that allowed Dylan Carrier to build up about a 1.7 second lead, so he's all but running away with this one. As there we go, the 5 ride around the outside. Crider gonna try to slide up into position number 2, and it looks like late in this heat race he will make that pass. So Crider up and into second, as Dylan Carrier out in front. We'll see the white flag fly. So one more time around here for the NJBDesigns.com DJC Cinematography Camry out there on the speedways. He sends it down into core number 3 for the final time here in heat race number 1. Down and out at core number 4. It's the driver with the real life dirt experience. The 88 of Dylan Carrier will pick up heat race win number 1. Josh Crider going to come home there in second. Landon Burbage back in third. Then we see Matthew Wood and the 19 of Melvin Brettengruer, our top 5. Applegate back in 6th. Danny White in 7th. Nathan Brookover back in 8th. And Cody Cash running out our top 9. Farrell Robbins going to round out the top 10 there in heat race number 1, as we get ready now for heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 about to get underway here. So drivers will get lined up once again down pit side. They'll get ready to roll out onto the speedway, starting in that pole position. It's a little dark down in the pits, but it is the 72 of Jonathan Gaston who will start in that pole position. To his outside in the Optic Gaming number 24 ride, it is Jordan Hand. Hand will start there in P2. Starting in position number 3 in the Caterpillar number 51 ride, that is Wyatt Mickelson. To his outside in the Sundrop number 15, it is Aiden Lucas. Starting in position number 5 on the racetrack, it is the 6th ride. That is the NJBDesigns.com Bang Energy number 6. It is our defending back-to-back champ out there on the racetrack here. The 6th ride, it's Brian Underwood. To his outside in the 33, that is Mr. Jordan Crider. Is Jordan Crider in the Premium Stock Car Racing League's Pony Express Mustang, as the 33, where I will get ready to rumble here in the 6th position. Starting in position number 7 in the NJBDesigns.com ride, the number 18, that is Noah Blackwell. To his outside in the Chili's, the ride, the Dente 77, it is Ryan Haller. Starting back in position number 9 in the 84, it's not Jimmy Johnson, that is Cody Blackmore. And bringing up the rear of the field in the Team Watson number 7, it is Caden Gargiulo is here we go, getting ready to see that green flag fly here in just a few more moments as the Bourbon Hills 72 of Jonathan Gaston going to get ready to see this green flag fly. He wants to get a good jump, a great launch, and try to keep these drivers back there at bay and try to hold them off here this evening for the rest of this race. He's looking to try to be the G-man at the top spot out there on the speedway. As we'll get them all ready to rumble here as down and out at corner number 4. Here we go. There's the green flag and already contact. Oh, it's Mickelson up into the outside fence. Mickelson into the fence. The rest of them are racking. No caution flag on the racetrack. Haller's in there. The 7 right of Caden Gargiulo's turned around. Cody Blackmore, Aiden Lucas, and a big one here on the front straightaway, taking the green flag here in heat race number 2. All right, well, let's take a look at this and see how kind of this one got started, as there was a lot going on here. Let's take a look here at Aiden Lucas and look at the 51 here. So we're going to keep an eye on the 2 yellow rides, the highlighter yellow and the darker yellow ride, and it looks like the 51 just steps on it there a little bit. Gets a little bit loose, cranks the wheel back to the right. The car just kind of shoots up the speedway right here as the 15 kind of comes down. They get hooked together, and unfortunately, they all just pile in there, and not a lot of them with a lot of places to go there as you see the Pony Express of Jordan Crider. Jordan, look at him, he's trying to get to the outside. It's a save a horse ride, and unfortunately, no saving that car out there on the speedway as he T-bones that 51. Heavy hit there is the 77. A Haller gets into it. Big hit there for Haller as the 84 gets into him. The 7 right of Caden Gargiulo just trying to get checked up. He does get a pretty good piece of that 15 as well, as all these drivers getting tore up here on our opening lap. A lot of carnage, a lot of big hits, a lot of tore up race cars, and all these guys just trying to get their cars pointed back in the right direction as we do finally see the caution flag fly. So the caution flag finally does come out as Gaston was out in front, hand there in second. Noah Blackwell up to third with Brian Underwood, Melvin Wyatt Mickelson, Caden Gargiulo, Cody Blackmore, rounding out our top 7-ish, 7 or 8 out there on the racetrack, as we're going to take a look back and see what brings out the caution flag once again, as it looks like Ryan Haller going to run into problems. So has that damage. You can see that car, the front bumpers are bouncing around. Sends it in up on the high side. Just looks like this car kind of gets a little loose. He's trying to save it. Unfortunately, bounces up off that outside fence on quarter 2. And here comes the 15 ride. Bam, right into it. Big, big hit there for Aiden Lucas, man. That is another big hit, another tough break for a driver that was starting in that 4th position. Not a spot you want to be in out there on the racetrack. Is going to see that Campbell car get up and out of the way. Unfortunately, could not avoid running into the back end of the Chili's riding the Dente 77, and it's going to put a couple of our drivers down pit road here, and that may keep them down there for an extended period of time, as we do see Jordan Crider. Looks like Jordan, he's had his issues. Looks like he may have taken that car down pit road. We do see the 15-8 and Lucas. He is down pit side right now. Haller rolling back out onto the racetrack. So good break there for Mr. Haller, as we do see Jordan Crider, all these drivers getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Actually, it looks like Jordan Crider going to be scored a lap down out there on the speedway. Tough break there for Jordan Crider, being a lap down. The Pony Express going to hope to see another quick caution flag to try to get himself back on the lead lap here this evening, as we'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to roll, ready to go back to green flag racing, as Brian says, let's go, and Anna says, let's go, 24. Cheering on Jordan Hand here this evening as well. Alrighty, here we go. The Bourbon Hills, number 72 with Jonathan Gaston. Gaston sees that green flag fly, and quickly he gets on the lap pedal. Now, Gaston, I do know from the dirt side of iRacing, that's where we finally first ran across the paths of the 72 ride. So for Jonathan, he's got it right back at home. This is a car that we expect to be fairly quick here this evening. He has been in the iRacing dirt stuff. He has ran a lot of street stocks and late models, UMP modifieds, so he's been in the dirt scene. He's raced a lot of laps around Knoxville Raceway, where a lot of these drivers that came from NASCAR, that came from the pavement side of things, they don't have a whole ton of experience when it comes to the dirt side of racing action. But a lot of these guys, they are still pure champions. They're still really solid competitors, and we know that they've been practicing here for the last week or two. They've been getting tested and tuned in, and they've been working on these cars and working on their skills here to try to mastercraft Knoxville Raceway over the last few weeks. And especially with these race cars, they got to get a big kind of a learning curve in to be really, really good at the dirt side. When you jump onto the racetrack with these cars, you got to be picture perfect out there on the speedways. Out in front, it is Gaston. Gaston continues to hold down the top spot out in front, trying to keep that Bourbon Hills barbecue ride at the point here this evening. As Noah Blackwell rolling right there in position number 2. Jordan Hand back there in third, then a little bit of a gap back to our 4th place driver in that 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo. Gargiulo working his way from the back of the pack, now up inside the top 5. That was one of the drivers that got tied up in that opening lap wreck, and for the 7 machine, looks like he's trying to battle back here, trying to race his way up towards the front. We'll see if he can try to close that gap on Jordan Hand and Noah Blackwell, as this looks like Hand starting to fall back a little bit of ways from that 72 and 18 ride. So the 2 drivers in front of them start to open up a little bit of a lead here between themselves and the 24, as you do see Blackwell looking to the outside of the 72. They may get tied together right there. A bit of contact as they lean on each other down the front straightaway. The G-Man, though, of Gaston able to hang on to the race lead, but a big run coming to the inside for Noah Blackwell. Blackwell will look down to the inside into corner number 3. We may see a bit of a slide job right here. Doesn't look like he's going to fully go up there down late in the corner. Who kicks out that rear end, able to block the 72 right there. And that's where we will see the 18 take the race lead away. But here comes Gaston. He says, I'm not done battling. I will continue to duke it out here with you. And if that is the way she's got to go, it's the way she's got to go. And they will continue to slice and dice it here at the front of the field, as you do see the 24 ride starting to close the gap here. That's the big thing about these race cars and about this racetrack. When you do start to battle door to door out there on the speedway, it seems like the car back behind you, if there's a big gap, that gap gets shrunken in a quick hurry, and they join that fight, and you all of a sudden end up into a very curious position, knowing that if you make a mistake as you're trying to battle too wide out there on the speedway, you run into an issue. You're going to get passed by not only the car you're trying to pass, but also by, you know, the car behind you, maybe even the car behind him. So you got to be dang near picture perfect, especially when you're out here battling for the race lead as the 72 washed up the racetrack, makes the 18 ride go a little bit wide. They are beating and banging again. Oh, baby. Oh, they are leaning all over each other. And now here you go. We talked about it, that little bit of beating and banging, that slight mistake out of our race leaders. And now here comes that 24, and Jordan Hand breathing new life into that 24 ride as he is right back into the picture. Much like the Optic Gaming team, they are right there ready to pounce it, ready to jump in on the action at any moment in time. As we see Jordan Hand right there rolling up in that outside lane. This is going to be the fun part about tonight, trying to see how this racetrack is going to change and how it's going to change the racing lines out there on the racetrack. Is normally when we start to see a dirt track get slicked over, when a track like this gets slicked over on the dirt stuff, normally that's when we really start to see drivers struggle. The rear ends get kicked out, drivers getting loose through that slick stuff. But it almost seems like when we are in these NASCAR cars, when we start to get the track slicked over, it's almost like it takes a rubber, like what we would see at a track like, you know, Dover or Martinsville. And as it starts to take that rubber, it's almost better to be in that slick line, running that slick line, than it is to actually run in the dirt. So we'll have to see how that continues and see if drivers kind of figure that out, if they start to use it to their advantage. Nonetheless, though, Noah Blackwell able to hang on to the race lead as of right now, but he's got 2 hungry cats right there behind him, a couple of vets looking to try to work their way up and into the heat race win here this evening. As Caden Gargiulo back there in position number 4, it's Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 5, so good recovery for the 51 back inside the top 5 here in this heat race after that opening lap issue. Brian Underwood in that 6th position in the 6th car as Cody Blackmore there in 7th. Ryan Haller back in position number 8. Looks like he's been able to get that car repaired, and he's rolling back up here, but unfortunately quite a ways away from our race leaders. Jordan Crider unfortunately still a lap down as the Pony Express number 33 Ryan rolls back here in the 9th position. Right now he's one of 2 drivers that I do believe is a lap down or close to it. I do believe, no, he's technically the only driver a lap down still running on the racetrack, but we do see Aiden Lucas. That damage too much out there on the speedway for him. Has that car still parked down pit side. They'll get the backup car out here for our A main feature event. As Noah Blackwell, though, continuing to lead the way here at Knoxville Raceway. Looking to try to follow his teammates' footsteps up and into a little bit of a win here as the Carrier Motorsports rides trying to win our 2 heat races here this evening as the 18 of Blackwell trying to follow in his teammate Dylan Carrier's footsteps after winning stage number 1. Well, heat race number 1, we will see the 18 ride trying to win heat race number 2 here this evening, and the laps continue to get clicked off. Only 8 more laps left to go as Gaston trying to mount another challenge, trying to close that gap and reel in that 18 ride once again. Jordan Hand right there, ready to pounce still. Unfortunately, could not take advantage of the 72 rider Jonathan Gaston sliding backwards, so he'll have to try to figure that out, see if he can try to get back into that hunt towards the front. As the 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo rolls there in 4th. Great recovery for him. Great recovery for Wyatt Mickelson. Brian Underwood still sitting back there in 6th. Blackmore, he's been battling hard back here, unfortunately, for the Camel ride. He did see that 33 ride get around him. Now, lucky news is that Jordan Crider is a lap down, so that pass virtually means nothing for track position. That will keep Jordan Crider still a lap down and stuck back in that 9th spot and keep Cody Blackmore in that 7th spot on the speedway. Haller still rolling there in position number 8 is the ride, the Dente Chili's ride. Rolls there in that 8th position as Lucas down pit road, but out in front, it is that 18, Noah Blackwell. Had a pretty sizable lead, but he's starting to kick that car out a little bit more and a little bit more. Might be starting to fade away, maybe starting to run into some tire issues. Now there's contact. Big hit right there as Gaston sends it in there deep. Now they're hooked together. Look out, up and into the fence goes the 72 and the 18, and there goes Jordan Hand. Hand says, thank you very much. I'll go right on around the both of us, and I'll take this race lead with only about 4 laps left to go. So Gaston able to hang on, though, to position number 2 after that contact. The 18 rider Blackwell now back into 3rd, and it's Jordan Hand who was able to squeeze right on by and pick up potentially our 2nd stage win of the evening. Absolute craziness there, absolute mayhem as the 18 and the 72. I don't think they're done, as we did just see some contact. Oh, look out, the 18 ride not going to be happy about the move that Gaston threw it in there deep, door slammed him. They got up into the wall. Then this time he pays him back here, and again virtually the same thing as the 18 just gets hooked, drives him up the racetrack after contact and puts the 72 up and into the outside fence, and now pulling away from that 72 ride, but unfortunately too far back from this 24 Jordan Hand. So Hand down and out of corner number 4. We'll see that white flag fly one more time around here for the Optic Gaming number 24 Chevrolet. As Jordan Hand out in front here in Knoxville Raceway, looking to try to pick up heat race win number 2. As down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4, it is Jordan Hand in the Optic Gaming 24 ride who will pick up the checkered flag here in heat race number 2. Blackwell will be back in 2nd with Caden Gargiulo in 3rd. Gaston back to 4th with Mickelson, Underwood, Blackmore, Haller, and Jordan Crider, our top 9. Aiden Lucas down pit side will round out our top 10, but it's all Jordan Hand as he's able to win our second heat race of the day, and that will set him up here for a great start in our A main feature event, as all these drivers will get a quick little warm-up session. They'll get an opportunity here to work on their race cars, make sure that they are absolutely perfect, that they are absolutely ready to rumble here this evening, as each and every one of them going to try to make sure that their cars are perfect. And one of the first cars out onto the racetrack is our heat race winner, our first heat race winner of the day, at DJC Simtography, NJPDesigns.com, Carrier Motorsports Toyota, the 88 rider Dylan Carrier, quickly jumping out there, wants to make sure he's got the rust knocked off, wants to make sure that he is prepped and ready for this A main feature event. As you see Landon Burbage out there, Farrell Robbins now sliding out onto the track. Here comes Blackwell after his heat race, jumping right back out there. Cody Blackmore, as well as Danny White. Applegate trying to learn as much as he can, getting ready for this A main feature event. So all these drivers getting ready to duke it out here in our feature event, as I do believe we will get 75 laps. 75 laps of racing action here for our A main feature event, and that is going to be a ton of fun, as we're going to get a quick word in here from one of our actually, let's jump into a quick little crank it up here. I'm going to get a quick drink into me, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll, as Brian says, thank you, come on, hand. As Anna says, looking good, hand. Yeah, great break there for Jordan Hand in that heat race, man. That really put him into a perfect position out there on the racetrack. As I'll be right back, chat. I'm going to get a quick drink, and then we're going to get right back into the racing action here this evening.
Strapped in tight, Betty V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Trapped in close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet, sipping victory. Toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound, seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there is the checkered flag for our warm-up session. And that means we will get ready for our A-main feature event. Our A-main about to get underway. The craziness is about to unfold for each and every one of these drivers. It's now all about trying to survive. Keeping yourself out of trouble, keeping yourself pointed in the right direction is going to be the key here all evening long. As our A-main is about to get underway, we're going to switch back to our other overlay here to give you guys the top banner here this evening, as this is top-notch class act, amazing drivers, and this is going to be an absolutely amazing race here this evening. To see how this one gets played out, it's starting on the pole. It's our first heat race winner of the day, the NJBDesigns.com number 88 right at Dylan Carrier. Now for Carrier, not only starting on the pole here this evening, he is virtually looking for the four-peat here to start this season. He won our shootout at Daytona 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he won our season opener points-wise at Daytona International Speedway. And last week, he backed it up with another win at Auto Club Speedway. Now looking for his third points race win in a row here to start this season. And his fourth win altogether here on the season here for Dylan Carrier, as he will start out in front in that pole position, trying to make it 4 in a row here this evening and really take control of the point standings more than what he already has, but really start to bank up more and more of those bonus points and allowing him to try to run away with the early points lead here on the season. As Carrier will start out in front, Jordan Hand will start there in second. Then we see Josh Crider back there in third. Noah Blackwell will start in position number 4. Caden Gargiulo in the 2 right. Landon Burbage bring up row number 3. Then we see Matthew Wood and Jonathan Gaston there in row number 4. Starting in row number 5, it is the number 19 of Melvin Brenger, the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. Applegate right there in 11th with Brian Underwood, who is outside there in 12th. Danny White and Cody Blackmore there in 13th and 14th. Then we see the 27 right of Nathan Brookover and the 77 of Ryan Haller. The 76 of Farrell Robbins, the 33 right of Jordan Crider, and the 15 of Aiden Lucas. Bringing up the back of the pack here. Looks like 19 drivers going to take that green flag. As here we go, ending all the anticipation with our feature presentation, as it is Dylan Carrier who will see the green flag fly, as we are quickly green flag racing here at our A-main feature event with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As Carrier will take the race lead, sends it deep down low, as they're 3 wide back there behind him. Look out! It's Hand up the racetrack. Hand goes up the track. Now he's got the 7 right of Caden Gargiulo is there 4 wide down and off of corner number 4. 4 wide racing action here at Knoxville Raceway, as Dylan Carrier has the race lead in trying to run away with it. So Carrier out in front, Crider right there in second. Here comes Landon Burbage, here comes Noah Blackwell trying to race their way up to the point. Is look out, contact, around goes Jordan Hand. Oh, big hit right there for the 84 right of Cody Blackmore. Blackmore and oh man, bunch of drivers tore up here, but that was a big hit there for the 84 right of Cody Blackmore. Look at the front end of this car, absolutely tore apart, as the first caution flag of the day will fly here on lap number 2. So let's take a look at it here. There's contact up in front of them between the number 7 of Caden Gargiulo and the 24 of Jordan Hand. Hand, who started in position number 2 here this evening, won our second stage of the day. He got shoved up high on the opening lap, and he's been sliding back ever since then. And unfortunately here, we're just going to see Caden Gargiulo get in there a little too far. The Team Watson ride gets into that left rear quarter panel, spins that 24 right around, then here comes Underwood. Nowhere to go. He slams into it, helps them both go around, but look at the 84 ride right here of Cody Blackmore as he bounces into that. The car just virtually, I don't know what happens there, but somehow or another, all the inertia and everything else kind of gets spring loaded right here for the number 84 ride, and it is just going to throw him up and into the outside fence. See if we can get another look at it, as this was a big hit for that 84 ride. Let's take a look back at it. As here we go, bam, right here, bam, into him, and then bounces right off of him up and into the fence for the 27 ride. That had to be a weird look right there for Nathan Brookover. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Brookover as he was trying to run through there. Looked like he was going to go around it until the 84 ride bounces right back up in front of him. Actually gets clipped by him there a little bit to help him up into the fence and turned around there as well. So a bunch of drivers getting tore up here, middle of the pack, deeper in the field, and now here we go. We see that 84 ride still tore up. Says, you know what, aerodynamics, they don't mean anything here. If the tires are still pointing the right direction, the car is not overheating now, as it's got no front hood on it or anything else, so he's good to go here. No front bumper. He's good to go as long as that car can continue to keep up water pressures and cooling temps and everything else. He's going to send it like that as long as can save that quick repair. You don't want to use that quick repair up too early and put yourself into a position where you don't have it later in this race. And now if you're Dylan Carrier, you know you got Crider now to your outside. Landon Burbage, who you battled with in that first heat race, right on your back bumper. What do you do? When do you fire? Down through 3 and 4. As here we go back to Green Flag Racing here at Knoxville Raceway. As the 88 ride, great launch, great run right there. As now here we go. Landon Burbage up the track a little bit as the 18 ride. Noah Blackwell, great run on the outside lane, able to get around that 2 ride. So the Prince is towing number 2 of Landon Burbage, slides back into position number 4. Matthew Wood trying to navigate his way up and through the field as Matthew now into that 5th position, and here comes that 72 of Jonathan Gasson. We saw Gasson have such a great run brewing there at the start of our second heat race. Led the first virtual 20 laps or so of it until contact between him and the 18 and Noah Blackwell sent them both backwards and allowed that 24 Jordan Hand to be able to jump up and steal that race lead from them. As we do see Cody Cash down pit road. Cash did jump out onto the racetrack, but I'm not sure if he just rolled out there, made sure he got his points, and then right back off the speedway as he rolls out here. It looks like he's just going to get this thing stopped on the racetrack and end of this race. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there we go. He just rolls out onto the speedway, gets it stopped, and takes it right back down pit road. So a heartbreaker there for Cody Cash. Looks like he's going to stay out of the way of the drivers here this evening. Does not want to affect anyone's race here, or maybe does not feel comfortable out there on the dirt track surface. So it makes sense there for some drivers to probably not appreciate the dirt stuff. As here we go. We get a battle for second as here comes that 18. Oh, baby, Blackwell. He's found something on that outside groove. He has found a ton of speed. He's finding a great arc, and he can really drive it down the hill, find a lot of speed down these straightaways, and that's exactly what the 18 ride is doing, and it's worked his way up and into second here. Now, the big question is going to be is how will the tires hold up here on the dirt surface? With these new ARCA cars, with the new tire model and everything else, I'm not too sure what we're going to see out of these NASCAR tires here this evening and how these drivers are going to handle that and how much it may affect their race here this evening. And then we also got to figure out what fuel's going to be like as well. Can they make it the full 75 laps without having to come down pit side and get fuel? I don't know if Knoxville even allows refueling, so I feel like we're going to be good to go on the fuel mileage. I don't think we're going to have an issue with that, but if it does become a problem, some drivers may have to start to back it down. If you're spinning the tires too much or kicking the car around too often, potentially that's going to burn up more and more of that fuel and could make it tighter and tighter and tighter for you out there on the speedway. As Landon Burbage trying to navigate his way around that rubbered up production SpongeBob number 5 ride is Matthew Wood in the Wood car there in position number 5. Gaston in the beautiful Bourbon Hills Barbecue number 72 ride, rolling there in that 6th position as Melvin Branguer back there in 7th. Aiden Luke is there in 8th with Wyatt Mickelson back in position number 9. It looks like Wyatt's going to look to the outside here of that Sundrop number 15 ride. There were 2 drivers that got tied together to bring out the big wreck there at the start of our second heat race of the day. And now here they are battling door to door for position number 8 on the speedway. As the 51 gets a bad corner there in 3 and 4. He'll slide back still into that 9th position as Aiden Luke is going to kind of go after that 19 ride. Melvin Branguer was taking a look down to the inside, going to try again right here, but the 19 throws the block down low as we do see Grant Applegate back there in the Red Bull number 57 ride, rounding out our top 10 as we see the caution flag come back out. Yellow flag back out on the speedway. There's the 6 ride. Oh, heartbreaker there for Brian Underwood. I do believe Nathan Brookover. Now some of our lead lap drivers tied up in this as well. Wyatt Mickelson tied up in it. Matthew Wood gets a piece of that. So the caution flag coming back out, not quick enough, and a few of our other drivers going to get tore up here. So let's take a look here at Brian Underwood. So Underwood trying to keep this thing just pointing the right direction, trying to keep it rolling. Our race leader not too far behind him here. Looks like he bounces it off the wall right there and then just gets super sideways. Brookover sends it in there. Obviously not checking up quick enough for that 6 machine after, you're going to see the 6 ride right about there. Gets up into the fence. So let's take a look at it from a different perspective and watch this 6 ride. So he's going to come out of corner number 4. He's trying to keep this thing pointing the right direction. Unfortunately, got that rear end kicked out. It's just spinning the tires and driving him up and into that fence. He bounces it off the wall. That's really what sets him up here for a very, very bad corner number 1. And then as he's trying to save it, trying to keep this thing pointing the right direction, here comes Brookover in there. Bam! Slides into him. Big hit into the 6th ride. And then all these drivers pointing the wrong direction. Look at Matthew Wood. Has to get turned around right there. Brengruer gets into the 51 and the 15. They both have to spin around to try to avoid that as well. So a couple more drivers getting damaged right there. Actually looks like mainly really getting contact here. I'm going to say it's the 16 ride of Matthew Wood. Spins it sideways to avoid contact. He's going to get a piece of the 27. The 19 gets a big shot into that, I believe it's the left or rear of that 16 ride, so could be some rear end damage for Matthew Wood. The 51 and the 15 making slight contact, not a lot there, so not a lot of damage, but nonetheless, a couple turned around race cars, a couple tore up race cars, and we did see a few of these guys go to the back of the pack to try to get their cars fixed up, as we saw Matthew Wood, Wyatt Mickelson. You did see the 19 there, Melvin Brengruer, also go down pit road, trying to make sure that they get their cars repaired and that they're fixed and ready to rumble here for another restart. As Brian Underwood, who did get tied up in that yellow flag, and Brookover, both drivers, unfortunately did fall a lap down out there on the speedway for Cody Blackmore. Looks like both Codys, Cody Blackmore and Cody Cash. Oh, no, Cody's still rolling out there. But Cody Blackmore off the racetrack and potentially out of this race. We do see Cody Cash rolling back out there on the speedway, so good to see Cody join us here once again. As here we go, back to green flag racing. Green flag quickly back out into the air for Dylan Carrier. So Carrier sees that green flag fly once again, looking to try to keep all these guys back there at bay. He wants to be that reflection of perfection here this evening. That 88 ride won our first heat race of the day. He's looked very, very strong here in this feature event, and he's got to keep it up here for at least another, I do believe this next time by the start finish line, going to be about 53 laps of racing action left here this evening in this feature event for Dylan Carrier, and he wants to lead them all. He wants to keep everyone back there behind him, does not want to breathe a little bit of life into their lungs, want to keep them back there at bay as his teammate Noah Blackwell rolls in position number 2. Josh Crider hanging on to that 3rd position. Landon Burbage back in position number 4. Gaston there in 5th with Applegate back in position number 6. Now Applegate actually starting to navigate his way back up towards the front here. Same with that number 24 of Jordan Hand. Hand slowly but surely working his way from the back of the pack up towards the front after getting collected in that first rank of the day. And same with Caden Gargiulo, who's right there with him. Help that 24 ride go around. Here's Caden up and into the 8th position now as Matthew Wood, Aiden Lucas. These guys trying to navigate their way up towards the front as well. Both drivers just got tied up in that last caution flag. They're both trying to race their way towards the front of the field. It's Jordan Crider back there at 11. Farrell Robbins there in 12, trying to hang on to that 76 ride is Danny White and Melvin. Both going to get around him. There is actually Wyatt Mickelson right there getting around him as well, but you do see that 79 rider really loose up on the high side. Unfortunately, looks like he will not complete that pass, and it may open up the door here for Ryan Haller to try to get around both of these two as the 76, the 77, and the 79 duking it out back here deeper in the field. Melvin Brengruer back there in that 16th position with Underwood, Brookover, and Cody Cash now running out our top 19 as out in front it's Dylan Carrier. Carrier continuing to lead the way, but man. Noah Blackwell, he's right there. Blackwell's ready to bounce. He's rolling right there in position number 2. Will he have something for that 88 right here this evening? He's looked very, very fast, and we all know that Dylan Carrier has real-life dirt experience. He has driven a real-life dirt car before. I'm not sure what it was. I'm pretty sure it was like a Comp 4 or something like that. So he does have a little bit of real-life dirt experience. I don't know if it was real-life dirt experience with rear-wheel drive race cars, but nonetheless, he's got that experience, and I don't know how well it's going to help him out, as here comes Blackwell taking the race lead away from him. So Noah Blackwell going to jump out in front as he will complete the pass. Now on the 88, Carrier slides back into position number 2. Josh Crider there in 3rd. Jonathan Gaston back there in position number 4, trying to hold on to it. Here's the 2 rider, Landon Burbage, trying to take it back away from that Bourbon Hills Barbecue 72 ride. As we do see Applegate and the 24 ride of Mr. Hand and Aiden Lucas all battling back here for that 6th position on the racetrack. Looks like Aiden trying to take it not only away from Jordan, but also trying to take it away from Grant Applegate. Applegate, though, battling hard here to the outside. Unfortunately, last time around, right about here, we saw that 24 shoot up the racetrack, almost got a piece of the fence, really had to roll out of the throttle, and had to miss out on that battle there for that 6th position. Caden Gargiulo right there, as well as we do see one driver up into the outside fence, but we also see the caution flag fly. So the caution flag will come out here. Now, I'm not sure if this is a scheduled yellow flag or not, but let's take a look here and see if we can get a verification on that one. See if that was an actual stage break. Where's our race info? There it is. So, yes, that was a stage break. So that was the end of our one and only stage here in this feature event. So a competition caution, if you want to say so. They don't have any tires behind pit wall, so you got what you got here this evening, and that is it. You got one fast repair. If you run into problems, that's all you got. It's just that one quick repair, nothing else here this evening, as we'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to go back. The green flag racing here in just a few more moments, but let's see if we can get a couple of these drivers up here into the booth real quick, as they've been putting on a show for us. They've been putting on a great race. Let's see if we can get maybe we can get our race leader up here into the booth, Noah Blackwell. Hey Noah, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Noah, man, that car has been looking badass fast all evening long here, and just before the end of that stage, we saw you able to get up and around your teammate there on the speedway. Was that just more of Carrier being a nice guy there, letting you go by and earn that bonus point, or was that just showing how strong this car is here this evening and trying to beat your teammate here for what could be his potential 4th win in a row?
I wish. No, I had to work around it there. I had to squeeze him. No, the car's been great. I don't really know what I'm doing. The only reason why I finished so high in this stage was because of our heat race being in heat race 2. The track is very similar to the heat race now, so I know what it's going to do. Dylan doesn't, and I seem to be better getting into the corner and getting off. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I got Josh, and then there's Gaston back there, so I don't know. But I got to get ready to get going here.
Absolutely, brother. Well, good luck. Have fun, brother, and we'll see you hopefully back up here in the booth later this evening.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go. You heard from Mr. Noah Blackwell getting ready for this restart, getting ready to put his foot on the throttle and trying to keep these drivers back there at base. There we go. Green flag back into the air, and he's able to time it perfectly. Great launch, great start right there for that 18 ride, as he'll look to try to keep his teammate back there at bay. You heard it from him that there was no easy task. There was no, teammate camaraderie back there. There was no give or take between the two of them. He had to jump up there and steal that stage win away from Dylan Carrier. As he said, he's got a little bit more experience now with this little bit slicker of a racetrack here. Obviously, Carrier struggling a little bit, trying to figure out what this track is doing and how he needs to navigate his way back up towards the front of the field, or if this is just part of the game plan. That 88 ride stable. Maybe try to save some tire. Maybe try to keep that thing just under control here for late in this race, to where he can pounce again and try to take that race lead back away way as Blackwell quickly pulling away from that 88 ride, but you do see Gaston right there as well. Gaston rolling in that third position. He's raced his way up towards the front of the field here, now up 5 positions as Josh Crider right there behind him, rounding out our top 4. As we see a great battle brewing here again for position number 5, it's Landon Burbage, who's been right around a lot of these battles here this evening. That Prince's Towing number 2 ride, trying to hold off the 15 of Aiden Lucas. As Aiden, he's up back into that 6th position here. He's been back and forth throughout the field and shown some pretty good speed out of that 15 ride. If we can see that sun drop machine and get a little clean air, maybe make his way to the front of the field, he may be a threat here this evening to pick up the win. As we do see Jordan Hand back there in position number 7, Matthew Wood back in 8th. We would have thought of Wood to be a little bit better here this evening after pretty much dominating last season's dirt race. The 16 ride was very, very good, very strong, but here this season struggling here in Knoxville. Obviously a completely different racetrack than Eldora, and it looks like the 16 ride is not as hooked up as what he was last year in our other series. So man, that's a tough break for the 16 ride, but nonetheless he'll try to keep on battling, able to work his way around Jordan Hand. As we do see Applegate there in 9th, Caden Gargiulo there in 10th, and then we see Melvin Brangruer back in 11th, Wyatt Mickelson there in 12th. Jordan Crider, Brian Underwood, Danny White, and Ryan Haller are top 16, still in the lead lap. Nathan Brook over the first car, 1 lap down, back in position number 17, as we do see Farrell Robbins. Looks like Farrell has taken his car down pit side off the racetrack. Cody Cash still rolling out there. Unfortunately for Cody, he is about 10, 11, 12 laps down, something like that. A lot of laps down there for that 48 ride, but still rolling out there, looking to have some fun here this evening. We appreciate him being out there on the racetrack, as Cody Blackmore already done and out of this race after about 10 laps of racing action, and Benjamin Romano never loaded in for this feature event. Is out in front though, continuing to open up a lead. It is this 18 ride. It is Noah Blackwell. Blackwell has this race lead, a 1.3 second advantage between himself and his teammate Dylan Carrier. As Carrier rolls there in second, it's Gaston back there in third. As the Gaston's iRacing Graphics 72 ride trying to slowly but surely work his way up here towards the front of the field. As Josh Crider there in fourth. Aiden Lucas now up inside the top 5 as he was able to get around that 2 machine of Mr. Landon Burbage, and it looks like Burbage going to lose another position as we will see another caution flag fly. A couple more drivers tied up here down in corner number 1 and 2, and the yellow flag will come back out. So it looks like Wyatt Mickelson and Melvin Brangruer are potentially getting tied together here. Let's take a look at it. So Brangruer in the 19 ride right there. Both drivers bounce it off the wall, and it looks like just the 51 sends it in there a little too deep, and unfortunately, as he gets in there a little too far right here, he's going to end up making some pretty solid contact here with this 19 ride. Here we go. Great look at it as there we go. Sends it in there a little deeper. Unfortunately, with that extra speed, just carries it into the corner. Doesn't get onto the binders at all. And unfortunately, ends up into that left rear quarter panel of the 19 ride. Spins both of them around. And then we're going to see the 6 rider, Brian Underwood. He's going to slide in here, and he's going to roll in that middle of the track. He sees it and trying to get checked up to avoid, unfortunately, as he's trying to roll out of the throttle or ride the brakes right here. Actually, he's way down on the infield here. He may have had some more contact here. A little bit back behind him. Watch the 33 up and into the fence. The 6 ride ends up bouncing into him. He ends up into the little bit of the infield right there and over the berm, and then by the time he finally catches it, he ends up spinning right down the racetrack and into that 19 ride of Melvin Brangruer to make matters worse for both the 6 and the 19 ride. So nonetheless, we will see that caution flag come out. We will see them all get stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. Let's see if we can get our second place driver in here real quick, Dylan Carrier. Hey Dylan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Dylan, man, so far you've looked very, very strong, man, winning that first heat race, being out in front for the first little bit of laps, but now you have your teammate getting around you. You got Jonathan Gaston right behind you. How you feeling out there on the racetrack real quick?
Track's really slick. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Noah's that he's got it figured out. He's obviously the fastest car. Gaston, I think, has it figured out as well, so I'm just trying to think of ways to go here.
Absolutely, brother. We'll use that real-life dirt experience to try to get yourself back out in front. Good luck and have some fun, brother. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Dylan Carrier He's going to try to figure it out. He's going to try to find his way back up towards the front as the 88 ride down low. Contact between him and the teammate. Both up and into the fence. Here comes the 5-rider Crider. Crider will take advantage of it. He'll slide around him. Now they're 3 wide, almost 4 wide for position number 1 on the racetrack. As Dylan Carrier, he may have found the way to get it done. He knew the one car he may need to beat here this evening was his own teammate, Noah Blackwell. He gets up the track, slides up into the 18, stuffs that 18 right up and into the fence right there. Heavy hit between the two of them. Let's take a look back and see what happens real quick as both these drivers were duking it out, but you see the 88. Not the best restart right there. That may have been with us as we were up there in the booth, but he gets a great run down into the corner here and drives it in there deep and then just washes up the track, washes up, and unfortunately up too far and into his teammate right there. And that was a big hit, not only for the 88, but for that 18 ride, man. He climbed that fence. We normally see that here at Knoxville, and drivers end up on that wall and end up with a tore-up race car. He was almost clear, trying to pull the trigger on a slide job, and unfortunately just was not clear, timed it a little bit too late, and unfortunately stuffs him and his teammate into the fence. But for both these drivers, they're looking to bounce back. Blackwell trying to hold on to the 8th position, maybe trying to work his way a little closer to the front of the field once again. That's his teammate Dylan Carrier with even that contact and that damage. He's keeping himself out in front of the field here, and now we do see Josh Crider holding on to second here as well, as Jonathan Gaston I thought was going to be right there to try to slide in there and steal that top spot away, but it was actually Josh Crider who sent it in there deep, got a great run, almost came away with the race lead, unfortunately just sent it in too deep, washed up the racetrack, allowed the 88 to get back around him there as Carrier back out in front. But now we got to wonder how much that damage is going to affect this car. You start to see him start to slow down a little bit more. The 5 right up against the fence here, rolling that outside lane, is finding a ton of speed up there on the outside groove. And man, he is moving out there on the speedway. Nicely the 88. He's going to move around. He's going to jump up to that high side. Maybe this is where you need to be, is that track. And the line continues to change and trying to go with the grit, trying to find that moisture out there on the racetrack with these race cars may be the best bet. As here we go, Matthew Wood. We talked about him. He was kind of lackluster a little deeper in the field there. Really wasn't moving too far forward, wasn't showing a whole lot of speed out of that 16 ride. But now, up inside the top 5, trying to battle around Jonathan Gaston for position number 3 in last year's dirt winner. Maybe he's had some tricks up his sleeve all evening long. Maybe he knows how to get it done here. Maybe he was just being patient, trying to save some tires, trying to size these guys up for later in the day. But right now, he's rolling back there in 4th. He'll have to try to figure out another way around the 72, the 5 ride, and all these other drivers in front of him. And they all got to be careful as Noah Blackwell back up into that 6th position, now looking for 5th here as he'll go for the slide job over the 15. So the slide job over Aiden Lucas, and even with that damage, the 18 ride, Noah Blackwell back inside the top 5. He says, my night is not done. I've still got time. He's looking to try to race his way back up towards the front of the field as Dylan Carrier continues to hold on to the race lead. Only a couple car lengths, though, between himself and that 5 rider, Josh Crider. But I think right now, the spot to be is that outside groove. I don't think you can leave it as of yet. You gotta stay up there. You gotta stay in that outside lane, or else you're probably just gonna get freight train. Now you may get sized up and have a big slide job or something that comes across your nose, but other than that, you just gotta roll with the punches here. If you roll that inside lane for too long, I think it's just gonna do you in out there on the racetrack, as we did see Matthew Wood try that inside groove for multiple laps, trying to get around Jonathan Gaston, could not make that groove, and now we see the caution flag fly. So the caution flag will come back out here. Now the big question is going to be, does Blackwell come down pit side to get that repaired, or does he stay there on the racetrack and just roll with it? As we'll see the 76 here of Farrell Robbins. Looks like Robbins going to run into some issues here. Just, trying to pull down and off the racetrack. He's down on the apron. I'm going to get stopped right here, kind of into the infield, and that's where he'll come to a rest and take that car off the speedway, and I believe kind of at the same time as that was happening, we'll take a look back here at that Optic Gaming number 24 rider, Jordan Hand, his hand. He's back there. He's trying to hunt down this 15 ride as well. He'd love to get around Aiden Lucas. Unfortunately, gets in there a little too deep. Ends up getting into the back bumper of that 15 ride. Get a great look at it right here. Gets a fairly good run. He's trying to stay to the back bumper here and close that gap as he's trying to navigate his way back up towards the front of the field. Unfortunately, sends it in there. Gets into the 15, locks up that front left, and it just kind of hooks that car around right there. And unfortunately for the Optic Gaming 24 ride, goes for that loop-de-loop. Now look at Landon Burbage. I don't think Landon got a piece of it, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, was it ever close. And this is a scary sight to be in when you're turned around here and you see all these drivers coming right at you. If you're Jordan Hand, this is a spot you do not want to be. Let's see if we can jump in here and hear from this car is, here we go, on board with that 24. Sends it into the corner on the loud pedal. Sends it in there deep. Unfortunately, bam, right there. There's the contact. And this is a spot you don't want to be. Look at these cars flying right on by you. A couple of them actually do scrape them there. Get a little bit of damage into that car, but luckily enough, oh, can't go yet. Can't go yet. And there we go. Finally gets that thing turned around. Just narrowly avoids getting hit from the 7 ride, but gets that car pointed back in the right direction, and it'll keep on rolling here this evening as we will get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go here once again. So another restart here is the 88 of Dylan Carrier. Going to see that green flag fly come back out. So the green flag gonna come back out this time. Does the 5 ride got something for him? Do we see Matthew Wood able to make some moves and jump back out in front here, potentially taking this race win away from Dylan Carrier? He gets a great run down the inside as the 88 up on the high side, looking to carry all that speed and momentum down and out of corner number 2 as the 16, though. Man, he's looking good late in this race. We may have spoke too soon, but we knew it would be Matthew Wood at some point in time, potentially battling for the race win here when we came to the dirt track, and now he's looking to make that move, looking for the big slide job here. He had lots of room to pull the trigger, able to do it. Carrier's trying to work his way back down low to get a crossover. Unfortunately, just could not hold that grip, could not keep that car pulling the right direction, and now you do see the 72 rider Gaston. Gaston now up and into position number 3 here on the speedway, and he's looking right down to the inside of the 88, almost making contact there with Dylan Carrier. All these drivers getting very, very racy as the laps continue to click down, and we inch closer and closer to our checkered flag. Blackwell trying to work himself up and into position number 4 as that's Josh Crider right there to his inside. Crider trying to stay inside the top 5 here, trying to stay inside the top 4, but it looks like the 18 ride will make the move to get around him, and now we do see Gaston also getting around Dylan Carrier. Carrier will now slide back to 3rd, and here comes his teammate, Noah Blackwell. Blackwell, he's going to remember the contact that they had earlier. He's going to know that the 88 ride may owe him one here. Carrier may want to just move up and out of the way here, let the faster car kind of go by here as he'll take the inside lane, allow the 18 the outside groove, and hope that his teammate Noah Blackwell can try to race his way back out in front, but a fairly tough corner right there for the 18 ride, but gets a great exit there, able to carry that speed momentum back up to the outside here of Dylan Carrier. Now Carrier sliding backwards here quite a bit, struggling with the handling of that 88 ride, needs to jump back up to the outside groove. There's nothing down low. You cannot be down there. You got to jump to the high side. You got to use that to your advantage as he's got his teammate Noah Blackwell now in front of him. He does jump up there to that outside groove, and now looking to try to keep all these guys and back there at bay. He's just trying to hang on to a top 4 right now, but out in front, it's Matthew Wood. Wood, we talked about him out there earlier this evening, kind of sitting back, lurking there, hanging out in the shadows, and all of a sudden here he comes late in the race to make it known and to lay his stake as the dirt track I don't know what word we want to use here, the dirt track master here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, whether it's the NASCAR Next Gen rides or the ARCA Series cars. This 16 ride has this thing figured out. He saved some tire, saved this car, and here he comes late in the race, navigating his way to the front of the field. And just like how we see it in most late model races or dirt street stock races here at Knoxville Raceway, bottom lane dominant early on. It moves up the track slowly but surely to that outside wall, then late in their race. We see these guys all the time in the dirt street stocks here in the dirt side of things, rolling the outside groove in corner 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. Most of the time, rolling that inside berm, but he's going to stick with the outside lane right there. Sometimes maybe the track just not as worked in down there in 3 and 4, and it's 4 lanes up on the high side. It's 4 corners of high side rubbing and scrubbing there, trying to keep yourself out of the fences. He does have Jonathan Gaston back there behind him. Gaston is he's a veteran when it comes to the dirt track side of things here with iRacing, and he's right there. Late in this race, the Bourbon Hills Barbecue Ride trying to race his way up towards the front of the field as Matthew Wood has the race lead, though, trying to keep that gap about 0.8 of a second between himself and Jonathan Gaston. Noah Blackwell still hanging on to third as we do see Aiden Lucas now up and into fourth. Josh Crider hanging on to fifth there as Landon Burbage, Grant Applegate, Caden Gargiulo now are top 8 on the racetrack as the 88 of Dylan Carrier continues to slide backwards. Carrier just trying to hang on to a top 10 now at this point as that 88 ride has really fallen off the pace. Now is a little bit of damage after scraping the wall, and now into that 10th position as there goes Brian Brewer around him. Here comes Wyatt Mickelson. Here comes Brian Underwood, Jordan Hand, Danny White, and Jordan Grider all right there as well, running out our top 15. Haller back there in 16th. Nathan Brook over there in 17th. Cody Cash in 18th with Farrell Robbins, Cody Blackmore, and Benjamin Romano bringing up the rear of the field. It's out in front, though. It's Matthew Wood, still about 0.8 of a second between himself and Jonathan Gaston. Is down and out of corner number 4. We will see that white flag fly. So one more time around here from Knoxville Raceway. Gaston sends it in there deep. One last try down through 3 and 4 for the 72. Can he find the run? Can he find the groove to do it as he rolls the bottom side? So does in the 16 as Matthew Wood for the final time out of 4 will hold all these drivers back there at bay, and he will claim victory here at Knoxville Raceway. Matthew Wood getting it done and getting the checkered flag here at Knoxville is our dirt race showdown here at the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Gonna come to a close here in some crazy fashion in the Racers for Christ. NJBDesigns.com number 16 and Matthew Wood will claim victory and park that ride up and into the Knoxville Raceway victory lane. Jonathan Gaston going to come home in second, and Aiden Lucas from deep in the back here, navigating his way all the way to the 3rd position. Late race charge there for that 15 ride, and Aiden putting himself up inside the top 3s. Matthew going to get ready to celebrate here a little bit, man. He's going to be pretty pumped up, picking up the win here this evening. Man, what a run, what a drive, what a performance from each and every one of these drivers. Some craziness out there, but man, that was a ton of fun here this evening. Is Matthew Wood, Gaston, Lucas, our top 3, Blackwell there in 4th, Josh Crider, Radio, our top 5. Landon Burbage, Applegate, Caden Gargiulo, Melvin Brangor, and Wyatt Mickelson are top 10. Dylan Carrier slides outside the top 10 and back into the 11th position. Jordan Hand there in 12th. Brian Underwood, Danny White, Jordan Crider are top 15. With Haller, Nathan Brookover, Cody Cash, Farrell Robbins, Cody Blackmore, and Benjamin Romano rounding out our field as you do see the 16 ride of Mr. Matthew Wood. He's celebrating here, the 72 of Gaston. He's celebrating as well, man. He was pretty pumped up. Great run, great race there, and a hell of a battle here this evening as Anna says, good job, guys. Says, Landon, let's go. You can do it. Cheering on Landon out there on the racetrack. And Anna says, Peacemaker, proud of you. No yachting tonight. Laugh my ass off. No yachting. No yachting tonight. No yachting when it's dirt track racing. No, none of that. None of that. When it's dirt track racing, there's no yawning out there at all, man. There's no time to yawn when it comes to the dirt track side of things. Things move quickly here on the dirt track. Cautions roll quick. Everything rolls quick. And we don't get a whole lot of time to be yawning up here in the booth. We're just full of the action-packed racing action. And we're going to get ready to pull in our top 3 up and into the booth here for some post-race interviews. Alrighty, waiting for our top 3 to slide up here into the waiting room this evening. We do see Aiden Lucas and Gaston in there. We'll wait for Matthew Wood. There he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Matthew Wood. He's trying to get into victory lane right here. Matthew, if you're listening, brother, you got to go through that fence. Yes, there you go. There you go. He's kind of found it. Got to go through that fence right there. Yeah, yep. All right. Oh, no, you can't go. You got to go almost around. You got to go around the benches there. Okay, he's going to take it off the track. All right, nonetheless, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Matthew Wood. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Matthew, man, what a run, what a drive here this evening as you're able to capture back-to-back dirt race wins here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, man. Take us back through this one as we saw you earlier in this race getting tied up in a little bit of that contact there, getting spun around and getting a little bit of damage on that 16 ride, but really for the first half of this race seemed fairly lackluster for yourself. Didn't really have too much going on, didn't look like you were pushing the subject. I wasn't sure if you just weren't comfortable with this car out there on the dirt track, or if you were just hanging back and waiting patiently in the shadows. And then all of a sudden there, late in the race, a couple caution flags, and all of a sudden here you were up inside the top 5 and racing your way around Gaston and Noah Blackwell, Crider, and Dylan Carrier to take this race lead away from him and put yourself out in front and then just drive away the victory here this evening, man. Take us back through what's going through your mind right now as you get to celebrate here at the always amazing and the world famous Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a struggle, especially through the first heat. I haven't ran dirt in a while, and I've been notoriously bad at Knoxville for a long time. Granted, my first start was in the sprint car, and those aren't the easiest to drive, but I haven't been the best at Knoxville ever, and I hadn't had much practice going into this, and I mean, you were right, I never got comfortable, but I decided, you know what, since I'm not going to be good on the 1-lap pace in the short run when the track's not slick and the lanes aren't going everywhere, I'm just going to save my tires. So, because we can't change tires throughout the race, 75 laps, I knew there was a caution at lap 30. So I just started hardcore saving, especially there at the end when I was battling Caden in stage 1. But then once that restart came, I was just pushing it as hard as I could. Caution came out, that helped us a lot, and I was able to come through, get an incredible restart on Carrier and slide jobbed him, and after I got the lead, I ran away from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know if I would call that a slide job as he cleared him by about 8 car lengths down through 1 and 2 as the 88 ride after that yellow flag looked like those tires were absolutely shot. He slid all the way back to the 11th position as that car fell off. If this was a 50-lap race, he would have been golden here this evening. Maybe if him and his teammate Noah Blackwell didn't drive each other up into the outside fence, maybe they would have done a little bit better, but nonetheless, they were able to keep on battling for yourself. It works out perfectly. Works into your favor. They fall off late in the race. You're able to move forward, but they're in those closing laps. You do have that 72 ride of Jonathan Gaston. He's from the dirt side of iRacing here and coming into the pavement side over the last couple of years, so he's got quite a bit of experience. He's ran a ton of laps and a ton of cars here at Knoxville, where you get a little bit nervous there when Jonathan was trying to close that gap late in this race.
I was maintaining the gap at around 8/10 just on the last couple laps. I made a few mistakes, but I noticed he was just being way more consistent than I was. And I know Gaston, you know, it's a West Virginia one too. Me and him, he teaches at another school in a big old West Virginia. So hopefully we can meet up one day. But I don't know. He's definitely very quick, and I knew that I'd get away for a little bit, but he'd find a way to run me back down. But just wasn't close enough. Aiden got P3, so that's great. Love that for him. I don't know how long I can race here because I'm about to break the cap, but I'll sure be here in case anybody needs me. If you ever need help, you can ask me. But yeah, I'm about to break 4.5, so hopefully I can plan that out. But Phil, one more thing, I'm just gutted for Noah. You know, he got wrecked in both races, and it just that he's got to be very, very angry about that. But thanks to him for making my paint schemes, Gaston for making all the great schemes he makes, Outlier Speed Co., Prosper Engineering, those two that I've been running with, and AG Motorsports and all the guys that were in here tonight, Josh and Brian for putting this on, and you for doing such a great job as always.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Matthew, heck of a run, heck of a drive. Congratulations on capturing tonight's checkered flag in the Premium Stock Car Racing League here from Knoxville Raceway. And, brother, hopefully we'll get you back up here for at least a race or two more before you break that cap, or maybe we'll give you a little bit of a lenience there and allow you to race still a few of these races throughout the year. As, man, it's always fun and exciting when you're out there on the racetrack duking it out with these drivers.
Yeah, thank you, man. It should be fun, but like I said, either way, I'll be here if anybody needs me.
Absolutely, mister. Well, Matthew, enjoy this win. Don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane, and as I said, hopefully we'll see you back up here into the booth very soon.
Thank you, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there we go. Give it up for our race winner, Matthew Wood, as Matthew picks up the checkered flag here this evening. As we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finishers, that 72 ride of Jonathan Gaston. The Gaston's iRacing Graphics 72 ride here this evening. Let's get Jonathan up here into the booth. Hey, Jonathan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I got you, man.
John, man, what a run, what a race. Take us back through this one, man, as I knew you from the dirt side of things long before we came here to the Premium Stock Car Racing League, so you kind of had a little bit of an edge here maybe on these guys when it came to the dirt side of things here on iRacing, but we saw that quickly early on. You were battling there in that second heat race. We saw you battle in there for the race win, and throughout the beginning of this race and most of this race up towards the front of the field. Take us back through it, man. What's going to go through your mind right now as you're able to come home in a very tight second place finish?
Yeah, we had practice the other night, and I felt really confident. I was out running just about everybody on the track, and man, that heat race started, and I thought I was in trouble. I didn't have very much speed. I think I sandbagged a little too much, and then throughout the race, I was trying to be patient. I was trying not to put a lot of heat in the right rear, because I know these cars, once that right rear heats up, you're done for. So I was trying to be really patient on throttle control, and I do think it paid off, because I heard some of the other guys, they were really hammering down that straightaway, just spinning their tires, and I think that did pay off. I asked Matthew what his percentages were at the end of the race, and we were equal on percentages. Yeah, I love dirt. I love coming to this. I got to find a way to beat Matthew, because last two dirt races he's found a way to get around me and get in front of me, and I can't catch him.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know where he finds this experience or that speed out there on the racetrack in these dirt races, and gets in front of you and takes a couple wins away from you here in the last couple seasons. But man, it was still a heck of a drive and a great performance out there on the racetrack, and especially a lot of these restarts, obviously crazy like we always see when it comes to the dirt racing action. You know, lots of 2 wide and 3 wide battle in there, even a little 4 wide at times, and then slide jobs coming out of left field, drivers getting ran over, drove up the racetrack, and you're kind of right in the thick of it, trying to battle through it, but also trying to keep yourself out of any of that carnage there on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, rubbin's racing, and dirt track with these cars, you can beat and bang on each other, and like you saw in the heat race, you just got to take it. I messed up and got into Noah, and he got a little frustrated and kind of got some payback on me, but that's okay. He owed me that. But yeah, restarts, the slide jobs, I put one on Josh there. I don't think we touched. I don't know if I did. It definitely wasn't intentional, but these cars run so close, and you're fighting for every position, and you got to do it. You got to send it, and you got to run that slider line. And I just hope nobody figures that out for the next race, because they might throw some on me.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's never fun being that driver that gets passed or someone throwing a slide job, whether it's clean or dirty on you. You don't like to see that back bumper of another driver sliding up in front of you. But man, Jonathan, here tonight, not a lot of cars that finished in front of you as you come home in position number 2, man. Very good race, very strong race for you here in our 3rd points night of the season here. Take us back through it, and who you'd like to thank for, you know, such a great run and strong performance here this evening.
I give a shout out to Bourbon Hills Barbecue out of Ellenboro, West Virginia. I got their logo on my car, got them all painted up, and give a shout out to them if anybody's ever in the area. Thursdays and Fridays, they're right off the interstate on Route 50. Stop in there and grab you some good barbecue, and give them a shout out, and maybe say, hey, I saw your car on iRacing. Who knows? I might give you a few dollars off.
There you go. Absolutely. Well, if I was any closer, I would definitely try it out. I've been staring at that Bourbon Hills barbecue logo on that car all night long, and trust me, I would love some barbecue right now, man, as that looked very, very tasty. And we can't wait to see that car up here into the booth more and more throughout the season. Hopefully, maybe one of these nights back up and in victory lane.
Hey, that's the plan. And great job tonight. Love listening to your dirt calls. You did a great job, man.
I appreciate that, brother. Jonathan, congrats on the second place finish. Hopefully we see you back up here next weekend.
Yep, 10-4. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher. Jonathan Gaston comes home in position number 2 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that 72 ride as he'll come home in that second spot here today. And now we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher. It's Aiden Lucas. Aiden coming home here in position number 3. Let's pull him up here into the booth right now. Hey, Aiden, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Aiden, man, a crazy night for you. Obviously, right at the get-go there in our second heat race, you in the 51 ride, Wyatt Mickelson get tied together, you get turned around, tons of damage on the car, ends up down pit side. You have to start at the back of the pack here this evening, and it seemed like 3-4 times you were able to navigate your way back up through the field inside the top 10, but really couldn't break in and through to the top 5 here until late in this race. All of a sudden, it seems like you just found another gear, saved enough tire or something there late in this race to navigate yourself around Grant Applegate, Burbage there, then Crider and Blackwell to slide up into position number 3 here this evening and park it up onto the podium after what was a very back and forth night for yourself.
Yeah, definitely a very quick night too. I will add that. Yeah, just kind of got lucky at the end there. Just everyone started running into issues, running into each other. Carrier almost took out Blackwell or whatever happened there. Yeah, that was fun. Just trying to figure it out. You know, dirt racing track's always different every lap. You're just trying to figure out where you're gonna find your grip.
Yeah, absolutely. Having to move around, having to search for it, trying to figure out which lane is going to work best at what time. And sometimes you just kind of get caught in a spot you don't want to be. Sometimes if you get kind of put into a bad position, you know, you're 2 wide or 3 wide, you can't get to the outside and you're stuck down low or vice versa. You're kind of just a sitting duck out there and just hoping that you can find a lane or hope that you don't lose control of that race car and cause other issues out there on the speedway. And for tonight, it seemed like you had a lot of speed, just you had other cars that were running into issues around you, and then you just kind of got tied up, and being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, it definitely felt like rush hour traffic out there. Everyone was all, you know, super packed in. Everyone was running the top, so it was really hard to make your moves. You had to try and capitalize on somebody else's mistake or, you know, just barely clear him and then send the slider of your life in the corner to go and try and get past him. It was, yeah, it was super hard all night.
Yeah, absolutely. Slide job city out there this evening is everyone making moves on the racetrack, trying to put themselves into the best position possible. And you almost got up to the race lead here this evening, but you had to settle in for a third place finish here this evening. Aiden, who would you like to thank for such a great run here this evening at Knoxville Raceway?
First off, let's thank PSCRL themselves putting the show on for us. And then thank you, Aaron, for bringing the show to the people, man.
Absolutely, brother. You know, it's always my pleasure to be up here in the booth and watch you guys duke it out there on the racetrack. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here, you know, very quickly and up here tomorrow night. Maybe a couple spots better into victory lane.
Yeah, tomorrow night, that's the goal. Just 2 spots better.
Absolutely, brother. We can't wait to see you out there. Congrats again on the third place run here tonight. And, yeah, man, hopefully we see you back up here in the booth at least for another podium tomorrow night. But hopefully we see you up there picking up the checkered flag.
Oh, that's the goal, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, buddy.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Aiden Lucas as Aiden comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that 15 ride as he comes home in that third position. These drivers put on a absolutely amazing show, absolutely amazing race. Right from the drop of the green flag down to the checkered flag in our heat races to our feature event, man, these guys put on a show for us out there on the speedway. We can't thank them enough for jumping out there and putting on a show for all of us to enjoy here this evening. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here today. you. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and it's not too late to do it. Even if you're rewatching the broadcast, make sure you guys hit that like button for us, hit that share button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and make sure that you hit that bell notification button. Make sure you never miss the Green Flag Racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, because you never want to miss out on the craziness here in any of our series. We'll be back in the booth tomorrow night for some more amazing racing action, where you'll see drivers like Aiden Lucas and a bunch of these other drivers in attendance tomorrow night as well. And hopefully we'll see you guys right back up in the grandstands cheering on all these amazing drivers. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we'll see y'all later. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Strapped in tight, Betty V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast a champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound, seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, thighs are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Strapped in tight, Betty V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast a champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound, seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction.